Welcome, one and all, to World in a Jar. We are your hosts, Kyoko and Vale. Our goal is to take a word, concept, or idea and spin it into a story. Be it a character, NPC, group, city, you name it. And thus, those ideas we create become our world in a jar. Of course, they won't all fit in the same jar, so our selection is constantly growing every week. With many spices to choose from, locations, genres, heroes, villains, and tropes, we hope to give you a jar filled with fun and interesting concepts. But first, how are you doing, Kyoko?
I'm pretty good. It's a busy week for me this week because my barbershop chorus has their annual show this Saturday. But, the show must go on here at World in a Jar.
Yep. I've had a busy week too. I'm just glad we could sit down and get to jarring.
Absolutely. Prepping for the apocalypse, jar everything.
These babies will last for years.
You better date those mason jars.
Every time I think of World in a Jar, I think of like all the canned foods my mom would make. She makes really good pickles, and marmalade, and
nice
jam. Apple butter, that was my favorite.
Ooh, nice. Just reminds me of going to Butler's Orchard back home. Like seeing all the stuff you get at Butler's Orchard.
Oh, that was so good. We only went a couple times though, because my mom's like, I can just make this stuff better. And she could.
Yeah. I went a couple of times. Like, we would go to get honey sticks every year because that was just like a fun little treat to get. And I went strawberry picking one time with Piper and her family.
We would go to I think they had a pumpkin patch too. We went there a couple times. Yeah. One time was for a school field trip. In like first grade or something.
Yeah, I remember like we went to like a pumpkin patch on a farm, like when I was in like kindergarten or something like that. I don't remember if it was Butler's Orchard though.
I feel like mine was, but I didn't go very often, so I can't say for certain.
Yeah. I mean, especially because like you lived in Columbia when you were that young, so.
Well, Columbia, then Kent Island, then Silver Spring, and then G-Bird.
I mean, they probably took you to Butler's Orchard that young.
Yeah. But yeah, so what's our topic today?
Chris, cut this out. I don't actually know the topic for the day.
I thought we were gonna do the department store episode.
Are we? Okay. All right.
Unless you wanted to do something different. Want to do something a little different today?
I don't know. Yeah, we could do department stores. So Chris,
let's start over.
Yeah.
Let's start over from. Welcome, one and all, to. No, just kidding.
Oh my god.
So what are we doing today, Kyoko?
We're doing something a little funky today. Instead of taking like inspiration from various places and things like that, we're building something on a set theme today. We haven't done this in a while.
Yeah.
But this time, drawing from something in real life. We're gonna take the tried and true department store. Think your like Macy's, JCPenney's, those who have been around for a while here in the U.S., Lord & Taylor, because those don't exist anymore. Sears, those also don't exist anymore.
Oh, I miss Sears a little bit. Just a little bit.
But yeah, places like that, like your typical mall, like anchor stores. We're gonna take one of those each and build an adventure or something around them.
Yeah. My easy inspiration for this episode, or even thinking about making this episode at all was inspired by the Gnome Depot on Twitter and TikTok, who makes magical items for a Home Depot inspired page. And sometimes there's a little lore, I think. I think there's a little lore as a treat of the Gnome Depot. But yeah, it could really just be any store, but like it's got to be a store that we can have an adventure in.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So yeah.
Should I pull up a list of department stores?
I mean, there's like the J.C. Penney, there's
So,
Target and Walmart.
I don't know if those are considered department stores. So,
Well, it could be any big store. You can have an adventure in Walmart.
corporate chains national. We have Macy's, and then their subsidiary Bloomingdale's. Nordstrom, Sears, Kmart. We love Kmart. One of my favorite things to do in a VR chat is go to the Kmart.
What? It's funny because I hated Kmart. They were always out of Yu-Gi-Oh cards and Beyblades.
I liked Kmart, the one in Kensington, mostly because they had the Little Caesars in it for a long time.
Oh yeah.
Discount department stores, Costco, Burlington, Dollar General, Dollar Tree, Family Dollar, Five Below, JCPenney, Kohl's, Meijer. Why is Meijer considered a... I guess Meijer. Yeah, Meijer. Ross. I always say Ross weird. Royce.
Ross.
Royce. Sam's Club,
Going
Target,
to the Ross.
TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Walmart.
See?
Yeah, you're right. So yeah, we can just pull up a bunch of stuff. Defunct department stores now online. Lord and Taylor. What's your favorite department store, Vale?
I don't know. I get overstimulated in all of them.
Valid. Very valid.
I would say Target is sometimes my guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
It's also the closest one to my house. Ross is pretty close to my house too.
I like Royce.
I like Ross.
Yeah, Ross is really nice. I've gotten like dishware from Ross before. I've gotten a bunch of dresses from there. I think Ross is where I got my prom dress for junior prom in high school.
I think I go to Kohl's too much as far as stores go.
Kohl's is always a good one.
I should just go to the thrift store and get the exact same pants for $10.
Yeah. I actually have a pair of brown boots that are like Kohl's brand boots, but I got them at Goodwill for like $15.
At Kohl's though, I saw these really cool looking boots on clearance for like $12 that were in my size.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was a steal.
Ooh.
That might be why I go back to Kohl's.
Kohl's is always really good, or at least they used to be really good for Black Friday deals, because you can get a lot of like really nice home good things there, like blankets and shit like that.
Yeah.
But Black Friday is not the same anymore. That's a topic for a different episode. That's a Kyoko Rants About Capitalism episode.
Right. That could go on the bingo card.
You're right. Kyoko rants about the state of their world. State of the world. Yeah, no, I also really like Target. Target's typically where I buy all my K-pop albums. I used to work at a Target that had a Starbucks next to, like, inside of it, so that was nice. And I also had one of the, like, Pizza Hut Expresses, so I used to get the personal size pan pizzas all the time. If anything else, I think the only other, like, if you think, like, mall, like, shopping mall anchor stores, I spent a lot of time in JCPenney as a kid. That's where I used to do my yearly clothes shopping with my mom. And then, like, friend group from high school, every time we finished finals, we used to go and just go like play dress up in the dress section at the,
Yeah.
at the JCPenney.
I mean, man, at the mall, there's no place I spent more time in than the Hot Topic.
Oh, mood. I spent a lot of time in the GameStop when it was there. When my dad worked there, and then he had friends that still worked there. I spent a lot of time in the GameStop.
What I hate about the state of GameStop out here is that there are like 4 GameStops around me, and they're all pretty far, but also equidistant from me. So no matter which
Oh.
GameStop I go to, it's like a 15-20 minute drive.
Oh, yeah. In this one area that like a friend of mine lives in, there's what's called the Bermuda Triangle of Targets. It's 3 targets that are like equidistant from each other, and they form a triangle. And you could go to any of the targets, and it's so funny when we go to the Bermuda Triangle of Targets, because every time we're down there, we go to all 3 of them. It's so good.
Oh,
Eh.
that's so good.
But which department store would you like to stake claim to today?
Well, I think we got to make up our own department stores,
Oh god, we have to make our own? Okay.
and then build an adventure in it.
Okay. Try my best.
So, who's going first? You can say it's just literally JCPenney's. Though.
That's
There's nothing stopping.
Valid.
I physically cannot stop you. You're all the way in Illinois.
Yeah, that's true. that is very true. All right. Would you like heads or tails?
I would like heads.
It landed on my hand, and I still fucking dropped it. Heads.
All right, my words are breakable and well off.
Perfect for a department store.
Yeah.
Many breaks.
So this is like in terms of like Safeway, Kroger, Whole Foods. This is like the Whole Foods of department stores. But they have a huge problem of vandals coming in and breaking the merchandise. I'm just imagining like in the pottery section of this like medieval department store, just Link runs in and starts picking up the pots and breaking them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just hear that from across the store, just like, oh man.
And then the manager's like, no, and runs over.
We told you stop breaking our pots.
And then a gold piece comes out of the pot.
And then other people run over trying to get more money.
Oh, it inspires a wave of people breaking all the pots then.
Oh yeah. All of them going, yeah. 8.
So, where do I go with this? So the adventure has to be detaining these miscreants.
Oh my god, you play as the department store security.
Just like hired muscle maybe, or even just the actual security.
Yeah. The theft
You have to figure out-
prevention team.
You have to figure out like where they're coming from, who they are, how they
Yeah.
inspire manic frenzy in the other customers.
It's a bard. You have to capture a bard and a rogue.
I'm wondering if there's anything with an Eldritch Knight fighter that Link might be.
I don't know.
I'm thinking like, well, it just depends on whether Eldritch Knight can cast like invisibility or anything. to be a real nuisance in this department store.
You know what?
I guess that's what I'm after.
I'm gonna look it up. Give me 1 second. Fighter. Let's see. Eldritch Knight. From the wizard spell list. You know 3 first-level wizard spells of your choice, 2 of which must be from the abjuration and evocation spells on the wizard spell list.
Oh, so it just limits 2 out of your 3.
Yeah. And you do, if you become at least a 19th level Eldritch Knight, you'll have access to 4th level spells, but you only have up to 4th level spells.
Right. Oh my god, everything is breaking.
Oh no.
I was trying to pull up Eldritch Knight, and you're cutting out. I don't know why this is going on.
I don't know. You were cutting out for me a little bit too, but it's okay.
Oh my god, the manager is just the cabbage merchant.
My cabbages!
My pottery! I wake up at 2 a.m. every day to make those. So I think the adventure is stopping Link from breaking all the pots.
Nice.
And so Link is like an Eldritch Knight, can go invisible, and then of course he has accomplices too. What if it's all 3 of the Triforce characters in Legend of Zelda? So it's like a Link style character, a Ganondorf style character, and a Zelda style character.
Oh my god.
So you've got like this party of miscreants, and one of them just exudes absolute power. One of them exudes courage, the courage to break all the pots, and then the other one's like a cleric, willpower, I believe.
Wisdom.
I don't know. I'm just a passing Legend of Zelda. I played Breath of the Wild.
Didn't you
in
also
my
play
youth.
Tears of the Kingdom?
Yeah, that's just Breath of the Wild.
I mean, yes. I mean, as someone who has never played a Zelda game, I know the Triforce. I know the 3 of the Triforce.
To be fair, I have also played Minish Cap in high school.
Valid.
It was a very good game. I loved Minish Cap.
Nice.
Oh, that could go into Link's design too, because in Minish Cap, Link is exploring like the world of the Picori, which are like these 1 centimeter tall creatures. A lot of the bosses are like regular enemies you were fighting in the overworld, but while you're tiny, exploring these little miniature temples. And so that might be how he gets in and out, is invisibility and like enlarge, reduce.
Those are both concentration spells. You can't cast both of them at the same time.
Well, then Well, invisibility can be cast by Zelda, I think. If she's like a cleric.
Yeah.
I don't know why you'd need both of those if you're trying to sneak in. You'd probably just drop invisibility. But that could be an interesting angle of like running underneath all the furniture that the party can't easily go through. Is just like reducing yourself and crawling under the like sofa display that for some reason had a lot of pots on top of it. We're really focusing on the pots though. There's definitely a lot of other things in a department store you could break.
Yeah, department stores are typically classified by their, like, of course, largeness, their size.
Their size and just how many different things, like different categories of things they might have too.
Yeah.
Walmart being the most famous of them, of like being the most department store I can think of. Because you got groceries, you got clothes, you got toys.
Yeah, it says a department store has several departments housed under the same roof to facilitate buying, customer service, and merchandising. A department store is a large store divided into departments which sell products such as furnishings, electronics, clothing, footwear, toys, cosmetics, and sometimes also groceries.
So yeah, I think that's a good place to leave my jar until the trope. A breakable, well-off department store who's plagued by the Triforce.
Yeah.
You ready for your... Ooh. Those are some weird words. You ready for them?
Absolutely.
They do relate to each other, at least. I'll give them that. It's acid and noxious.
I can work with those.
Maybe the department store is owned by, like, the villain. It has an acid pit.
I was gonna
for
say
all the
instead
unruly
of
customers.
I was gonna say instead of a functioning department store, it's a defunct department store that's been left to rot over time. So it could have become the base of like the evil lair of a villain, but I can imagine it's just with its facilities decaying and things like that. Because you'll have septic systems and everything for a department store. You have, let's say it's a department store with food and things like that. You have, like, there could be rotting food in there. Clothing, there's expired makeup, expired other products, things like that. People could have looted it and, like, spilled cleaning supplies everywhere. So there could be, like, ammonia or, like, chlorine gas inside, something like that.
The ammonia and the bleach has mixed, and now there's a toxic cloud.
Yeah, exactly.
You need to get poison resistance to enter this building.
Or like it could be like that this department store, or like, you know, whatever this might have been in the world it's inhabiting, was built on top of like this like magically charged area, so it's become this dungeon. I mean, even, like, if it's not over a magically charged area. Like, monsters could have moved in, things like that. So it's become, like, this dungeon, and there's rumors that there's a treasure in the back rooms. Then you just get lost in the back rooms.
The hidden treasure of Lord Taylor.
Oh my god. Absolutely. You're looking for JC's penny.
Looking for JC's penny. Either of those could be episode titles.
Department store adventures, looking for JC's penny. Absolutely, but like, I feel like that's like a really good basis for like a department store turning into a dungeon and warranting an adventure. Like, depending on the monsters that are inside, they could like use the items inside as weapons, thus creating like acid bombs, things like that, if they throw like bleach at somebody or something like that.
I'm also thinking about like a D&D department store having armor, and the owner of the inhabitants of this department store have cast animated objects on the mannequins wearing the armor.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, if it's a D&D style department store, there would be armor, there'd be like mass-produced potions, there'd be like really shitty weapons, things like that. Basically, like, all you can get sort of thing. It's like Walmart, but D&D. You can get everything there. You need supplies for your cart, like you need a new wheel, stuff like that, you go to the cart center. You need to get like food for your pet whatever the fuck, you go to the pet section.
Your pet pseudo dragon.
Yeah, exactly. You need to buy like clothing, you go to clothes. You want to just buy a fun little toy to keep yourself busy as you fucking zone out into oblivion while you're traveling, go to the toy section. Things like that. So, like, there would be a lot there, like a bunch of different places to explore, like different sections to explore. The layout can change depending on, like, if shelves have been tipped over, like what's been moved, what's been missing, things like that, like how defunct it ends up being. Just creatures in the deli section, you don't know if they're working there or actually like just eating. You see a monster still decorating a cake for God knows what reason.
Oh my god, you're adventuring through this dungeon of a department store, but you get to the break room and there is absolutely no hostility in the break room, no matter how many bad guys you've beaten up.
Yeah, the only hostility is that someone stole someone's lunch. That's the only hostility. They're still waiting for their manager-appointed pizza party.
You get a sub-quest. Find who stole the lunch.
Like, there's a goblin in the corner watching training videos from who knows how long ago, or reading training scrolls from who knows how long ago. Like, it could be fun if there were still, like, functions of the department store in this defunct department store.
Yeah.
You could even make it, like, a multi-level thing, because, like, the Target I worked at was a 2-story Target.
Yeah, the one, I think I know that Target.
It's the one in Rio, in the Rio.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, like, you could easily make a 2-story dungeon from it, including all of, like, the back area stuff. Like, because then they'd, like, if you wanted to add, like, mechanics and stuff to it, they'd still have access to, like, the elevators and stuff, like the industrial-sized elevators and stuff like that. You'd have, like, the docking areas outside as, like, another entrance or exit to the dungeon. Things like that, or those could just be blocked off, like, DM discretion. But...
Right.
I feel like the main thing would be, like, it's just become like a chemical hazard inside in most places due to, like, just the decay of food and other items, and then, like, potential misuse of, like, cleaning implements, or even just, like, if it's D&D based, like, potions and things like that being misused and mixed and things like that.
Yeah. I also thought of, like, a sci-fi defunct department store where the mannequins are wearing power armor.
That'd be fun, but that doesn't fit my words.
Well, yeah, the power armor shoots acid.
I mean, yeah. But it should be the department store having the attributes, not just the power armor that they could sell.
Right.
I think that's a good place for me to leave mine, like, just defunct department store. Full of acid and noxious gas.
So yeah, we'll be back for the trope time.
Yeah. All right. Trope time.
Trope time.
Would you like to heads or tails?
I'll go with heads again.
If I could properly flip a coin, it'd be great. Should put that on the bingo card. Kyoko can't flip the coin. Tails. It's me turn.
It's your turn. This is an interesting one. It's called Crime After Crime. Commonly seen in crime dramas, especially of the noirish variety, this occurs when a character or characters, having committed one crime, perhaps one not even that serious, must then commit another crime to cover up the first, and so on, leading to an escalating series of crimes, set off by what may have been originally just an accident.
What a good trope. Yeah, that one's interesting for mine, given the fact that mine is not a functioning department store. I guess it could be like I don't know. That's an interesting one. I'm trying to think, because this fits more for yours than it does mine.
Yeah.
But I want to make it work.
I mean, of course, criminals have taken over the department store.
I mean, yeah, it could be criminals have taken over. It could be like the Last of Us situation where it's like raiders and stuff like that, people trying to survive. Or it could be like monsters, things like that. But it's more funny if it's the adventuring party having to break having to break law after law. So it could be like the first law they break is trespassing. They're breaking and entering. It could be that they're like running from something, or they just need shelter from like the elements outside or something like that. So crime number 1, breaking and entering.
Right.
Crime number 2, crime number 2 probably like theft, if anything. Like maybe there's still some like good stuff that they can use, or like there's like they go through like this uninhabited area, like slightly nicer area, like the Target dollar spot, or is it called like Bullseye's Playground or something now. Like there's stuff there that they could potentially use, because that area is never organized, so there's just stuff from all over the store right there. So
yeah,
they could find some stuff there, so technically that's theft upon their breaking and entering, and they're trespassing, and then it could be like they have to fight something. Now they've committed murder in self-defense, but they've committed murder.
I did have a tangentially related idea in which the villain is keeping track of all the crimes the party commits while going through this defunct department store. And then, like, at the end, I'm gonna tell the police all your crimes if you arrest me.
I'm gonna tell on you. Yeah, like there's just an entity in the security room watching everything on the cameras, or watching in general. That would be fun. But like multiple charges of theft, multiple charges of murder. They could break open like the cash registers or like the money safes and stuff like that, and like take the money because they're looting. Like, oh, treasure in a dungeon. So also theft from that. General misconduct. Entering into unauthorized areas, going into the back rooms.
Loitering.
Yeah, loitering. Absolutely. It's just crime after crime that this party is like unwittingly committing, sometimes wittingly, given the fact that they're getting, quote unquote, getting treasure from a dungeon, so they're busting open those safes and stuff like that. But yeah, that's really fun.
Yeah.
And really, like, if like someone wants to implement like an adventure like this, the crimes that the party commits are all up to the party. They could commit a number of crimes in this department store.
It would be funny if they had like a DMPC or like an accomplice who is working with the
God, they have a
guard
mole
or the police. Yeah, they have a mole. Well, not a mole. They help them take out the leader that's taken over this defunct department store. But then, like, as soon as the party gets out, guards, arrest these people.
Oh my god. And I'd be like,
On
you've
account-
been complicit in all these crimes. You could have stopped us at any point. Absolutely.
But yeah, I think that's fun.
Yeah. Just be careful of all the acid and the noxious gas. Welcome to Aperture Science. Deadly neurotoxin. That's just the back rooms of the department store.
Right.
But that's where I'm gonna leave my department store jar. There's really not too much to do with it without like overly fleshing it out.
Yeah. Oh god, that leaves me with my trope then. I still don't know how I'm gonna spin this one. It's called Fantastic Terrorists. The images of Harry Potter. The wizarding community is currently under threat from an organization calling itself the Death Eaters.
An organization, they say.
Fantastic terrorists may consist of fantasy races members, like werewolves, orcs, robots, superhumans, etc., especially when there's fantastic racism at work. And if that's the case, their goal could be either the equality of rights, or ruling over the others, likely by attempting to topple the local government or kill all humans. Dealing a fantastic terrorist would be different from, and often worse than, regular ones. Might overlap with anti-human alliance if the multiple fantastic races are united against humans specifically.
Mm-hmm.
So is the Triforce fantastic terrorists, but like on a small scale of destroying pots?
It could be. Absolutely. Like, that could be just where they're starting.
I'm thinking that they're kind of a red herring now for the actual plot of the campaign. In which, so maybe the Triforce is the first stepping stone for the party, and then like actual bombs have been planted in the department store by an evil alliance. And that actually kind of makes me think of two things to keep the Triforce characters relevant. One is reminiscent of that scene from season 4 of Legend of Korra.
I have not seen season 4, so
it was okay. Season 3 was my favorite season,
but I know the
reason
villain of season 4 is Kuvira.
Yes.
So which Kuvira scene?
Oh, it was not a Kuvira scene. It was the Zahir scene.
Oh, okay, yeah.
In which Korra goes to the maximum security prison that Zahir is locked in after the events of season 3, and she goes to him for spiritual counsel and guidance. And so Zahir returns because he's not like 100% bad guy. He just had radical ideals.
He had the ideals of baby's first anarchy.
Yeah. And so he was very in tune with the spirits. And
yes.
That's what Korra needed from him, and he was happy to oblige, failing literally anything else he could do in the prison. She walks into the prison, and he's attached to a chain in the wall, and he's just floating the entire
he has
time.
Ascended.
But then, what was the other thing? I was like, I love that scene with Zahir, in which you take the former villain, and maybe they help you out.
Yeah.
But then also the Triforce could come back as part of this anarchical, fantastical terrorist group that is trying to destroy the department store. So like the group breaks the Triforce. I keep saying the Triforce, the legally distinct Triforce out of prison to help them plant these bombs, since they were so effective in giving the PCs a run for their money.
Breaks the triangle out of prison.
The triangle of heroes. It It all comes back to the Bermuda Triangle of targets.
Absolutely. It's perfect. The Bermuda Triangle of targets.
And so you just have like someone on the criminal level of the Joker, trying to blow up these department stores, and it's like we have to find the bombs in each of these 3 department stores and defeat each boss guarding the bomb, or like making sure the bomb is not interrupted.
Yeah.
So that's an easy story concept right there. And then it could lead into a larger campaign in which one of the benefactors for the party is going to be the owner of that department store.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So yeah, I think that might be a decent place to seal up this jar. Is there anything else you can think of?
Not that I can think of, but I do agree that this is a good place to seal up these jars and put them on the market. If you like this show or need any ideas, you can find us on Twitter at worldsinjars or email us at worldinajar1@gmail.com. Do you have any suggestions or recommendations for our viewers, Vale?
Well, I mentioned them earlier, but check out the Gnome Depot on Twitter and TikTok. There's a lot of fun, neat magical items, and they keep it kind of system agnostic, that you could just take the concept of these items and plant them in whatever TTRPG you're playing it in. And there's
absolutely.
There's like a whole D&D department store mythos as well. There's like iCobalt instead of IKEA. There's Lawful Goodwill. There's this huge expanded universe that I lap it up.
Yeah, it's super funny. We'll make sure to share our favorites, our favorite magical items, or a favorite of their content on Twitter later.
Definitely.
But yeah, I don't think I have anything. Yeah, I can't really think of anything. There are definitely some fun, like, video games that deal with, like, apocalyptic situations and going around, like, department stores and things like that. That's always a big thing for apocalyptic situations, especially, like, here in the US. Thinking of what department store you would raid first, and thinking about, like, how busy they would be. Because, like, Sam's Club would get raided so fast. So would Walmart. Most department stores are, like, #1 hits for wanting to survive in the apocalypse.
You gotta find the target that invaded a small town that not many people know about.
Exactly. Like, there's a great scene in the Last of Us HBO TV show, in episode 3, I believe, when they first introduced Bill, of him going to his local Home Depot and taking, like, everything he needed from there, because he lived in such a small town. So, like, prime example. I would do the same thing. But yeah, just find some cool apocalyptic media. I love... But yeah, so do something good for yourself, guys, and we'll see you all next week. This episode was edited by Chris at Chris Rogers VO on Twitter. Go check him out, please. We love editor Chris.
We love you, Chris.
Bye, guys.
Bye.